going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. Let's fire it up. Follow your light 420, OG Jerome. When Brian Flores makes his defense top 3 in the league, where will that put him as D coordinator in the league and Vikings history? So, given that he was the de facto defensive coordinator with the Patriots, won a Super Bowl, beat Sean McVay and Jared Goff, held them to 3 points, as well as what he's done from this Donachelle unit that was 28th in points, then was a 13th, 5, and now 1. I think that the 2 separate runs will have to put him up there as one of the best D coordinators in NFL history. And so, back in the day, there wasn't really defensive coordinators. I mean, there was a couple of coaches on staff from back in the day. Talk about like Tom Landry and whatnot. The Steelers. Tony Dungy was de facto DC for the Steelers back in the day. But in terms of great defensive coordinators, Buddy Ryan with the Bears for a number of seasons, Belichick obviously with the Giants, Marvin Lewis with the Ravens / Rex Ryan. You could toss him in there as well, even though he's more a linebackers coach. Monty Kiffin with the Buccaneers. Monty Kiffin was a bad dude, man. Monty Kiffin was so damn good. Spent some time with the Vikings as well. He really was one of the forefathers of that Tampa 2. Jim Johnson was a great DC for the Eagles a number of years during the Andy Reid era. Spags, I think you can make a good case that Spags should potentially be in the Hall of Fame. All right, the D coordinator of the Giants, that 07 upset, D coordinator of the Chiefs during their Super Bowl run. I think that you can make a case that Spags should be up there too. But if Flores does this, yeah, and especially if and when the Vikings win a Super Bowl, I think that you'd have to consider him as one of the best DCs of all time. Then hopefully a head coach. But selfishly, if you want to stick around for a little while, be okay too. Next, Wesley White, OG Jerome. In my opinion, I would be more willing to get Jaylen Ramsey than Jair Alexander. He's cheaper, better attitude in the locker room. I think he would be willing to be a teacher of the game, kind of like Patrick Peterson was. Yes, fully agree. I mean, Jair Alexander is going to get $15 million plus in free agency. Jaylen Ramsey in the very unique situation he's in with the Dolphins. If and when the Dolphins cut him, Vikings can sign him for the league minimum. And also you could toss Asante Samuel Jr. in there as well. But overall, I think they at minimum want to see what happens in training camp. Just to see what that cornerback room is going to look like, because I think that they're pretty confident in what they have. But in terms of if I had to go 1, 2, 3, I would go Ramsey 1. Mainly because I think that he's got more left in the tank. Jair's missed 31 games his last 3 years. Just not been great, right? And as well as, actually, that might be incorrect. Close enough. As well as Asante Samuel Jr., you worry about that shoulder / neck. That's been an issue. So, and also factoring in price. Samuel's not going to play for free either. But Ramsey, I would take a shot on. Next, McQuistain. Will Kevin O'Connell do a better job of play calling, especially when being blitzed? So, blitz-wise, I think that he'll be fine. But it's not just play calling when you're getting blitzed. It's communication up front. It's Ryan Kelly and J.J. McCarthy calling out protections in conjunction versus Bradbury and Darnold, let's say, or Bradbury and Kirk Cousins. But I think that Kevin O'Connell being a first-time play caller in 2022, first-time full-time play caller. He's still growing, just like he's grown as a head coach. I think there's a lot of criticism. Well, the Vikings take their foot off the gas. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that the defense just adjusts to what the Vikings were doing early on, and Kevin O'Connell maybe he doesn't adjust to the adjustments that well, but something certainly going to be learned. And now, I mean, you're going to look good if JJ looks good with this revamped offensive line. You got the best receiver in the NFL right now, as well as you're going to have a running game. So please, adios mio, let's get it going. Next, just in case, will J.J. McCarthy be moved around as in roll-up passes or even naked boots, or should the Vikings keep him in the pocket? So he does have plus mobility skills, right? And he did show that off at Michigan, where Michigan's offense basically was a more ground and pound version of what the Vikings do, and what is asked of the quarterback under center. A lot of play action, a lot of half-field read throws. Although Kevin McConnell has his quarterback read the whole field, but getting the quarterback on the move, whether half rollouts or boots, and having their decision tree be a lot simpler, I think that's good for a young quarterback. Even though JJ McCarthy, his ceiling will be perfectly fine, but it really is a departure from the standard sitting in shotgun, sitting in empty formation, and then just having the quarterback beep, bop, 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 boop. But yeah, his mobility is going to be a plus. And we talked about this before, where one of the most back-breaking things for a defense is you have a really solid play call. You got everything covered downfield, and on 3rd and 9, the quarterback scrambles for 12, and you're just it's frustrating, man. I think JJ McCarthy will bring that to the table. Next, Zach, if a fan sees you in public, how do you feel about being approached for a photo handshake? So, basic ground rules: if I'm by myself, or with some of my friends, absolutely, come up, say hi, give some dap. Love taking photos, love shooting the breeze for a little while, especially if we're in a beverage establishment. Come on over. I'll probably buy you around. But if I'm out with my kids, or my wife or girlfriend, if I'm out with the wife or the kids, absolutely, come up, say hey, what's up, but probably just gonna be moving along. Again, I appreciate getting recognized, and it means that we're doing some good work and we're impacting some lives, and I don't take your time for granted, because everyone has 24 hours and everyone's on a budget, and thank you very much for spending some time with us and the channel. I love paying it forward, love shooting the breeze, but I don't know, if I'm out with the kids, it's father and kid time. You know what I mean? We're at the mall, they're riding rides, all that stuff. Just say hey. Yeah, we'll just go from there. Anyways, that's it. Q&A for this beautiful day. You guys are the absolute best. You know what to do. Skull production value.